Love never weakens, even when nights grow heavy and the heart forgets how to breathe. It remains like a lantern burning in the middle of a storm, shaking, trembling, but never dying. Love never weakens, even when people do, even when promises fall to pieces, like sand slipping through tired fingers. It stands quietly in the soul, a voice whispering, "I am still here. I will not leave you." Love never weakens, not when memories cut deeply, not when time drifts away, like a boat lost on a quiet sea. It grows in silence, in the spaces between heartbreak and hope, in the soft corners where your name still rests. Love never weakens, because it is built from something the world cannot break. It is made of the first heartbeat that learned to recognize yours, and the last heartbeat that will carry your name. Even when everything else fades, love never weakens, even if distance stretches, like a desert between two souls. Even if hands cannot touch, even if eyes cannot meet, the soul still kneels before its devotion and refuses to surrender. Love never weakens. It only waits. It waits through long evenings that feel like winters without warmth. It waits through days that pass like pages turning in slow motion. It waits without complaint, because waiting for the right heart is never suffering. It is worship. Love never weakens, and when it hurts with dignity. It cries softly, but its tears water the garden of future joy. It shatters quietly, but its pieces shine, like stars scattered across your destiny. Love never weakens, because real love does not know how to run away. It walks back into the fire, again and again, to save the one who made it bloom. Love never weakens, not in storms, not in sorrow, not in betrayal, not in fear. It rises, just as dawn rises after the longest night, reminding the world that darkness is never final. Love never weakens, because it is stronger than the hands that tried to break it, stronger than the voices that tried to doubt it, stronger than the distance that tried to silence it. Love never weakens. It transforms. It softens. It grows wings when hearts feel heavy. It becomes prayer when words fail. It becomes courage when hope trembles. It becomes light when everything else turns to shadow. Love never weakens, and even when you think it has, when the world feels empty and your soul feels abandoned, you find its echo, still living inside you, soft but unbroken, fragile but eternal. Love never weakens, because love is the only thing that knows how to survive, even after the heart collapses. It is the one truth that remains faithful when everything else loses meaning. Love never weakens, and neither do you, because love lives within you, and as long as it breathes, your spirit will always rise. Love never weakens, even when the world around you begins to fall apart piece by piece. It holds the fragments gently, as if every broken moment is still worth saving, because to love is to gather every shattered memory and still believe there is beauty left within the cracks. Love never weakens. It becomes softer, quieter, deeper. It hides in the warmth of your chest, a silent guardian, refusing to let your soul collapse, even when your voice trembles. Love speaks for you in the language of unbroken devotion. Love never weakens, not when people walk away, not when doors close. Without explanation, it remains like a shadow, following you through empty corridors, keeping you company when loneliness becomes too heavy to carry. Love never weakens, because it is not measured by who stays or who leaves, but by the heart that continues loving, even when it has every reason to give up. Love never weakens. It becomes the courage to rise with swollen eyes and still choose kindness. It becomes the will to continue believing, even when disappointment tries to rewrite your destiny. Love never weakens. It simply transforms into patience, into faith, into long, silent nights, where the heart learns how strong it truly is. Love never weakens, even when you whisper, "I can't do this anymore," because love answers gently, "Yes, you can. I am with you, even when the world isn't." Love never weakens, not when memories haunt you, like echoes of old promises. It holds your hand through the ache of remembering, through the fear of forgetting, through the silent wars you fight alone at midnight. Love never weakens, because it understands the language of wounds. It knows that scarred hearts are still capable of loving again, even more fiercely than before. Love never weakens, and even when it feels distant, even when it feels faint, it is still there, breathing in your chest, like a small flame, waiting for the wind to calm. Love never weakens, because it is not a feeling. It is a promise your soul made, long before you understood what devotion meant, a promise that no storm has ever won against. Love never weakens, not when tears fall, not when voices break, not when hearts grow tired. It stands unshaken, in the middle of every silence, whispering, "You are still loved. You have always been loved." Love never weakens. It protects you when you think you're alone. It lifts your spirit when the world feels too heavy. It gathers every broken piece of you and holds them gently until you feel whole again. Love never weakens, because love belongs to eternity, not time. Time fades, people change, destinies shift, but love remains like a permanent mark on the soul. Love never weakens, for it is the only thing that can survive a heartbreak and still choose to bloom again. Love never weakens, even when your heart feels tired from carrying the weight of unspoken dreams. It stays beside you, a soft reminder that even the heaviest soul deserves to be held gently. Love never weakens, not when the world misunderstands you, not when your truth is ignored, not when silence becomes the only answer you receive. Love listens, even when no one else does. It hears your heartbeat, your fears, your hidden grief, your quiet hopes. Love never weakens, because it is born from a place deeper than disappointment. It survives storms that would break anything else. It stands like a lighthouse, calling your soul home, even when you have lost all direction. Love never weakens, even when your smile is forced and your laughter shakes with the weight of things unspoken. It lives beneath your pain, like a river beneath frozen ground, waiting for the warmth of your healing to return. Love never weakens, for it is patient. It does not rush your journey, nor demand your strength before you are ready. It walks beside you, matching your steps, honoring your wounds, protecting your softness. Love never weakens, even when your trust is fragile from past scars. It rises gently, with open hands, never forcing, never pushing, simply waiting for your soul to believe again. Love never weakens, not when nights stretch long and sleep refuses to come. It sits with you through every hour, like a silent companion who understands everything without needing a single word. Love never weakens, because love remembers. It remembers the warmth you once carried, the laughter in your voice, the innocence in your dreams, and it believes, with impossible faith, that those parts of you will rise again. Love never weakens. Even when life teaches you hard and painful lessons, it becomes the strength that helps you stand back up, the hope that refuses to leave your hands empty. Love never weakens. It stretches across distances and waits across years. It does not fade, like memories that time steals away. It is the kind of truth that remains untouched by the changing seasons of life. Love never weakens, even when you walk through darkness with fear on your shoulders. It becomes the light that finds you, the warmth that surrounds you, the voice that whispers, "You are not alone." Love never weakens, because it grows from everything you survive. It learns your strength, your softness, your depth. It becomes rooted in every moment that tried to break you, but failed. Love never weakens, for it is the part of your soul that refuses to give up, refuses to turn cold, refuses to let bitterness become your story. Love never weakens, even when you hide your tears behind forced smiles. It knows the truth, and it holds you closer for every unseen sorrow. Love never weakens, because it is the only thing that heals without asking, gives without conditions, stays without needing permission. Love never weakens. It simply grows stronger every time life tests your heart. Love never weakens, even when the heart stands trembling at the edge of a memory it wishes it could forget. It steps forward gently, holding your soul with both hands, reminding you that healing is not a punishment, but a promise. Love never weakens, because love sees you, the real you, beneath the scars, beneath the silence, beneath the ache you hide so carefully. It loves the parts of you the world never notices, The soft truths you whisper only to the night. Love never weakens. Even when you feel unworthy, it wraps around you like a warm embrace you didn't know you needed, teaching you that your soul is deserving of tenderness. Even on its darkest days, love never weakens. Not when your voice shakes, not when your courage breaks, not when your dreams collapse without warning. It becomes the force that lifts your chin, the whisper that tells your heart you are allowed to try again. Love never weakens because it thrives in the quiet battles no one else sees. It knows your storms, your hidden wars, your nights of silent endurance, and it stands beside you like a loyal companion that refuses to walk away. Love never weakens, even when the past tries to pull you backward. It holds your hand tightly, guiding you forward, away from the echoes that once broke you, toward a horizon that still believes in your light. Love never weakens, for it understands the language of wounds. It does not rush your healing, nor judge your pain, nor demand perfection. Instead, it gently reminds you that every scar is proof you survived. Love never weakens. Even when life brings sorrow that bends your spirit, it becomes the strength that steadies your breath, the faith that rises when everything else falls. Love never weakens, not when the world grows cold and laughter becomes a memory. It finds warmth in your chest, a fire that refuses to let your soul freeze. It burns softly, but endlessly. Love never weakens because it does not belong to the fragile moments of life. It belongs to eternity, to that deep, sacred space inside the heart where truth never dies. Love never weakens. Even when you face disappointment, after giving everything you had, it stays with you, whispering that your efforts were never wasted, that your kindness will return to you in ways you cannot yet see. Love never weakens, for it grows strongest in the heart that has been tested. It is born again and again, from courage you didn't know you had, from tears you refused to hide, from the quiet hope that refused to abandon you. Love never weakens. Even when loneliness visits, it sits with you quietly, sharing your silence, holding your spirit until the ache softens and your breath steadies again. Love never weakens because it lives in the deepest part of your soul, the place untouched by fear, loss, or time. It is the one part of you that never breaks, never fades, never surrenders. Love never weakens. It simply waits for the day your heart feels whole again. And when that day comes, it will rise with you, brighter than ever. Love never weakens, even when your heart whispers that it has reached its limit, because love knows there is more strength inside you than the world has ever seen, and it refuses to let you drown in the weight of your own doubts. Love never weakens, not when your soul feels tired from giving too much to people who gave too little. It becomes the quiet reminder that your kindness is not a weakness, your softness is not a burden, and your love is not a mistake. Love never weakens, even when you stand alone. In the shadows of memories that still sting, it stands beside you, not to erase the past, but to teach you that even pain has shaped you into someone more compassionate, more understanding, more alive. Love never weakens, because it knows that everything you went through was preparing your heart for something greater. It turns your tears into wisdom, your silence into strength, your heartbreak into a doorway for new beginnings. Love never weakens, even when you question your worth, your beauty, your purpose. It looks at you gently and says, "You are enough. You have always been enough." Love never weakens, for it is the courage you carry quietly, the resilience woven into your every breath. It is the force that keeps you standing, even when the world tries to knock you down. Love never weakens, because it grows in the hidden spaces, in the pauses between breaths, in the quiet moments of reflection, in the soft places where your soul still believes in miracles. Love never weakens, not when you lose people, not when you break down, not when life tests you in ways you never expected. It becomes the light that finds its way through cracks you thought would never heal. Love never weakens, even when you shut your heart to protect yourself. It waits patiently, never rushing, never forcing, simply trusting that when your spirit is ready, it will open again. Love never weakens, because it understands that true connection is not built in perfect moments, but in the storm survived together, in the quiet promises, in the gentle forgiveness, in the sacred trust that two hearts share without speaking. Love never weakens, even if you have been hurt, more times than you can count. It learns from every wound. It becomes wiser with every tear. It becomes purer with every broken piece you carefully put back. Love never weakens, because real love is not loud or dramatic. It is steady. It shows up in silence. It stands firm in doubt. It stays when everything else leaves. Love never weakens, not even when you walk through your darkest chapters. It becomes your candle, your compass, your invisible shield that protects your spirit from collapsing. Love never weakens, because it is your soul's truth, and truth does not disappear just because life becomes difficult. Love never weakens. It is the part of you that refuses to let pain define your entire story. It pulls you forward, gently but surely, toward the beautiful destiny still waiting for you. Love never weakens, even when you feel like the world has forgotten your name. It holds you close in the silence, making sure your heart never truly feels abandoned. It whispers softly, "You are seen. You are remembered. You matter." Love never weakens, because it lives deeper than the wounds life gives you. It knows how to survive inside a heart that has been torn, inside a soul that has been tested, inside a mind that has been fighting quiet battles for years. Love never weakens, not when sorrow fills your chest, not when tears fall quietly at midnight, not when life feels heavier than your strength can handle. It becomes the steady breath that keeps you from drowning, the unseen hand that lifts you when you collapse. Love never weakens, because it learns from every scar you carry. It studies your pain until it understands exactly how to soothe it. It grows around your wounds like a gentle vine, turning every broken place into a garden of resilience. Love never weakens, even when you feel empty. It steps into the hollow spaces, filling them with warmth, with hope, with purpose. It reminds you that even emptiness can be transformed into something beautiful. Love never weakens, not when trust is difficult, not when the past is heavy, not when the future feels uncertain. It stands like a loyal guardian, promising that faith will return to your heart when it feels safe again. Love never weakens, because it is made from the same substance as your soul, timeless, endless, unbreakable. Love never weakens, even when you think you have lost it. It appears in unexpected places, in a gentle word, in a quiet moment, in the way your heart softens even after being hurt. Love never weakens, because it never forgets the beauty you carry inside. It sees the light in you, even when you don't. It believes in you, even when you can't. Love never weakens, for it knows that every human heart is a universe filled with galaxies of emotion, and even the darkest night sky still holds stars. Love never weakens, not when you let go of what once meant everything, not when you grieve for what could have been, not when you mourn the versions of yourself you had to leave behind. Love never weakens, because letting go does not mean losing love. Sometimes it means making space for something more pure, more peaceful, more worthy of your soul. Love never weakens, even when life changes suddenly, pulling you into storms you were not prepared to face. It becomes the anchor that keeps your spirit steady, the silent shield that protects your heart from collapsing. Love never weakens, because it is not a temporary feeling. It is the eternal truth, written into the core of your existence. Love never weakens. It is the one thing that survives every fall and rises with you every time you stand again. Love never weakens, even when life forces you to walk through seasons you never asked for. It stays with you through every cold morning, through every slow night, through every moment your spirit feels stretched thin. Love never weakens, because it is born from the deepest part of your humanity, the part that refuses to stop caring, no matter how many times the world disappoints you. Love never weakens. Not when your voice breaks, from holding in secrets. Not when your heart aches, from carrying truths alone. Not when your soul trembles, under the memories you tried so hard to forget. Love holds you steady, as if to say, you don't have to be strong every second of your life. Love never weakens, for it understands the weight you carry. It knows the silent battles, the hidden wounds, the quiet bravery of showing up again. After nights that nearly broke you in half, love never weakens. Even when you begin to rebuild a life that fell apart slowly, it becomes the soft encouragement that guides you forward, step by step, breath by breath, reminding you that healing is not a race, but a sacred journey. Love never weakens because it is patient. It waits for your heart to rediscover trust, to reopen gently, to believe in tenderness again. It understands that recovery takes time, and it refuses to let you rush your soul. Love never weakens, even when you feel overshadowed by your own doubts. It lights a small flame inside you, a glow that refuses to dim, a reminder that you are more resilient than every storm you survived. Love never weakens, not when the world grows loud. With chaos and uncertainty, it becomes your center, your stillness, your quiet truth that nothing outside you can ever erase. Love never weakens, because real love is not fragile. It is not easily shaken, nor easily scared, nor easily destroyed. It is the strongest thing the heart can hold, and the safest place your soul can rest. Love never weakens. Even when disappointment tries to poison your hope, it pushes back, soft but powerful, reminding you that your belief in goodness is not a weakness, but a gift. Love never weakens, not when you cry softly. In rooms where no one can see you, it stays near, like a presence felt, even in silence, offering comfort without needing to speak. Love never weakens, because it is endless. It grows deeper each time life challenges it, becoming wiser, softer, more understanding, more divine. Love never weakens, even when you want to close your heart forever. It gently reminds you that your capacity to feel is not a curse, but a miracle. Love never weakens. It evolves with you. It grieves with you. It rises with you. It is the eternal light that refuses to fade. No matter how dark your world becomes, love never weakens. Even when nights feel endless and loneliness curls itself around your soul, it whispers softly through the darkness, reminding you that dawn is always closer than it seems. Love never weakens because it was born from the same light that created your dreams. It knows the way, even when you don't. It guides you gently toward the life your heart has been silently praying for. Love never weakens, not when you feel forgotten, not when you feel unseen. It tries to reach you in the small moments, a warm memory, a sudden peace, a quiet realization that you are worthy of more than you lost. Love never weakens, even when you close your heart out of fear. It waits outside your walls, patient, kind, unhurried, knowing that true healing cannot be rushed. Love never weakens, because real love does not demand urgency. It honors your pace. It walks beside you slowly, matching your breath, teaching you that softness can still feel safe again. Love never weakens, not when your past tries to haunt your present. It shields you gently, reminding you that yesterday has no power over the destiny you are building. With every step forward, love never weakens. Even when you feel you have nothing left to give, it restores you, piece by piece, turning your emptiness into new beginnings. Love never weakens, because it knows that every heartbreak was a lesson, every ending was a doorway, every struggle was shaping you into someone capable of deeper, purer, truer love. Love never weakens, even when your hands shake with the fear of trying again. It whispers, "You are stronger now. You are wiser now. You are ready now." Love never weakens, for it is the eternal fire that refuses to die. No matter how hard life tries to blow it out, love never weakens. And as long as it lives in you, your spirit will always rise above everything that once tried to break it.